Let's turn this Xbox Series S controller into a DIY Elite one. Extremerate was nice enough to send me this kit to test out. It's their Controller Hope remap kit for Series S and X controllers, and it can be found in the link below. Inside the box we are met with a toolkit, back controller half, a bunch of plastic bits, and an assortment of PCBs. Before we install the kit, we have to break down the original controller. Extremerate has installation guides on their YouTube channel for this kit, but I'm going to go ahead and see if I could do it without them. These two screws need to be removed, then reinserted once the first flex PCB is in place to help secure it. Before I start the soldering process, I cover all the solder points in flux to help the solder flow from the flex PCB to the circuit board. I then add a small amount of solder to each point while keeping the flex PCB as close to the circuit board as possible. The smaller flex PCB doesn't use any screws to fix it in place, so I'll start by soldering the big ground point, then I'll solder the rest of the connections with the help of flux. The two flex PCBs are connected together through this flex cable. This kit is so incredibly thought out. They included this test PCB that plugs into the two flex PCBs that uses LEDs to show if your solder joints are making a good connection. So let's plug it in and see how we did. So, one LED isn't lighting up, which means I need to go back and redo one joint. This little test PCB just saved me from having to find that out the hard way. After resoldering that one joint with the help of tweezers pushing the flex PCB down, you can now see that all the LEDs light up. We can now finish the install with a replacement back shell by first inserting the switch cover, followed by screwing the third semi-flex PCB into place with the included hardware. The remap buttons can be inserted into their plastic holders and screwed into place. The only thing that remains is covering up the switches with the included keycaps. Alright, so now that the kit is fully installed, let's go ahead and test it out. My closing thoughts on this are I really love the keycaps they added with the buttons. It fits very nice in the hand, and you can't even tell it's a DIY kit. Like, it's really well made. I love the quality, and I'm thoroughly impressed. I have only one complaint, and one complaint only, and it has nothing to do with the kit, rather the back half of the shell. If you listen to the triggers being pressed, you can hear that plastic hitting plastic. That's because the back shell that they gave you didn't come with the foam trigger stops that you'll see right here. This little strip of foam cushions the trigger from hitting the plastic, and you don't get that clunky sound. So if we take a look at the normal controller, and you just push the trigger, you don't hear that clunkiness as you do with this one. Now, that's not a huge complaint. I don't think it'll be that noticeable during gameplay because you're not really hammering them down anyways, but that is the only issue I have with this kit. As far as everything else goes, it is very well made. I'm thoroughly impressed. I love the fact that they gave you a little test board with LEDs that you could just plug in before continuing to make sure everything's lighting up. I mean, this by itself isn't cheap, I wouldn't imagine. You get so many little transistors and so many LEDs and resistors and stuff. So, like, that was a very nice touch, and the kit is so cheap compared to what you could spend on an Elite controller, or a Scuff rather. And just to throw this in here to make troubleshooting a lot easier is just a very nice touch. So I am thoroughly impressed. I give this kit a 10 out of 10, and that is even with the little foam piece missing. I'll have to transfer that over later. I'm not too concerned with it now. So let's go ahead and test this thing out. In order to test the remap functionality, I could use my Xbox, but it's all the way upstairs. Could also use my PC, but I don't wanna. So I'm using my cell phone, the modded controller with a USB-C power to power the controller to pair it to my phone using Bluetooth instead of using my PC or Xbox. Mainly because I'm lazy and it's late. So let's go ahead and plug this guy in. It should automatically be paired to my phone from a previous thing. Turn it on. And I'm just using a cheap gamepad tester app that I got off Google Play literally 2 seconds ago. So let's go ahead and turn that on. And this should log all the key actions in real time. Yep, as it's doing right now. So that's pretty cool. Never tested this app before, or never used this app before. It's logging the triggers and everything too. Yeah, it's a really neat app. Anyways, let's go ahead and test out the remap functionality. So I looked up online how to remap the keys because I couldn't figure it out. All you do is turn the switch on, get the blue LED, and then you hold whatever key you want to remap with whatever key you want to remap to. So I'll do A to K1, hold it down, and the LED should flash. It's mapped. And I'll also do B to K2. Same thing, hold it down, should flash. Now I'll turn this off, and the keys should be remapped. And that there. Look at that. Oh, looks like K3 was mapped to Y. I might have done that before I started filming. But yeah, the remap functionality works out pretty well. I can't wait to actually play this using Call of Duty. It'd be a really fun test for this. But this is just to show that the kit works and the remapping functionality works. That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check the description below for a link to where you can purchase this kit. It's only $40 on Amazon. It's really worth the money. And I'm not saying that because they gave it to me for free. The quality of the shell is amazing. The 3 PCBs are amazing. The overall functionality of the mod is amazing. The fact that you're allowed to use your battery still is just a huge plus, because I know they have strike packs where they insert into the battery pack. Never really messed around with those. I just know they exist. The quality of the kit overall is just beyond what I expected. It was a lot of fun to install as well. But that's it for this video. Like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you extremerate for sending me this. Subscribe if you want. I have one more extremerate video coming up in the near future on how to install DIY trigger stops, so be sure to check that out when it pops up. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.